What I'm gonna do is not decide. Be nice to yourself. Hello my loves, thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and we are doing December's TBR. Can you believe we're already at the last TBR for 2024? That's insane. I genuinely can't believe it. For those of you that don't know my TBR game, I'm just going to do a really quick overview of what it is, and that is we have a 6-colored sided dice. The colour correlates to a little ghost that sits on top of a prompt. Very simple. I roll the dice a minimum of 5 times. If the same colour comes up twice, then I do an additional roll, but I stop that at 2 rolls just because otherwise it gets out of hand. So basically we have anywhere between 5 and 7 prompts to fulfill for the month. I don't always tend to double up. Sometimes I allow myself to do it once if I'm having a very busy reading month, but I think December's honestly not too bad. I do have 2 books I need to read for my themed weekly reading vlog for December, which is going to be Christmas Murder Mysteries, which is something I did last year and absolutely loved, so I want to do it again. We also have the Discord buddy read pick, which I will get into. Hopefully it gets onto the TBR. If not, I will just talk about it at the end of this video of what it's going to be. If you ever want to join in Discord, it is always linked below. And then I do have 2 cozy new releases that I'll be reading in December, the video for that coming out in January. But that's it. It's not actually too bad this month, so I feel like it's pretty manageable, so I may not double up. I may just have a bit of fun with it. I do have one readathon that I'm kind of continuing for the first 2 weeks of December, and that is Danny's bucket listathon, which I'm having so much fun with. Very chaotic. Will any of my TBR fit into that readathon? I don't know, but I've been rolling as I go for that one, so we're just gonna see how that one goes. But otherwise I don't have any other big readathon going on apart from my own relax and readathon, which is happening on the 14th of December. I will have the announcement video linked below if you're interested. But that's all the housekeeping out of the way. The only thing different is to talk about the fact that I am doing a separate list of prompts for December. So I really enjoyed doing this for October, where I had separate prompts to my usual that were all focused on Halloween and spooky feels for the month of October. For December we are going with lots and lots of different wintry themed, festive themed, just things that made me feel like Christmassy, and also I had a lot of help over at Discord with ideas to put in here, so thank you so much. Get into that first roll and hopefully this all works. I'm feeling very much in the festive mood. There are lots of different festive books that I want to be reading, so we'll just see how much of this actually fits on, because alongside all of that I would also like to sink my teeth into a chunky fantasy book. But with all that being said, I hope you're doing really well. Let me know what you're going to be reading in the month of December, and let's get to roll number 1. So to get started we need to choose 6 prompts and then we can get into that first roll. So let's just give these a good shuffle. Okay, we are all set up, ready to go for roll number 1. Yellow, a blue book. So the first prompt is to read a blue book. For this one, I'm actually going to get you to decide between 2 very different books and 2 different blue covers. Okay, yes, this one has a copper bit in the middle, but the book itself is very dark blue. You've got this sea that's coming around, the trees are all in this blue luminous outline, like, gorgeous. 2 books, 2 different blue covers. We have Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. This is my favourite book ever, period. This is my favourite book and I've been wanting to reread it for absolutely ages. Now if you do choose this one, do know that this is going to be a longer read for me. It's a chunky book, but I've been so excited to get to it. I've been really feeling this one, so I think it's going to be lovely. It will be something that I take my time with over the course of the month and just enjoy. If you don't know what this one is, it is a historical fantasy book. We're following 2 different characters, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. However, there are footnotes footnote. And in the footnotes we get a whole different story going on, which is to do with fairy folk. And I really, really enjoy it. It's based on old English fae and folklore tales, which is lovely. But in this one, we're following Mr. Norrell, who is considered the last magician, and he is someone that believes that magic should be studied but not shared or practiced. And then we have Jonathan Strange, who is a young new magician. He has failed everything else in his life until he realizes that he is a magician, and so he goes to Mr. Norrell for training, but they have two very different takes on what a magician should be. We also do have the War of Napoleon going on in the background of this. Well, not so much in the background, there are points where we get actively involved in it, but there's just lots of wonderful things going on. It's a really great book. And then the other option is a cozy mystery, and this is The Tale of Hilltop Farm by Susan Wittig Albert. This is the start of a series where we're following Beatrix Potter, who is the person that wrote the Peter Rabbit series, and we're seeing her as she's moved to this little farm in England, and she thinks it's going to be really quaint and simple, and she's just trying to run this farm. She gets a little bit of tension from some of the people in the village because, you know, she is a young woman running a farm. At this time in history in England, that's not a done thing. But then something happens, and maybe this little town really isn't as quaint and quiet as first thought. Two very different books, two completely different sizes, but I'm gonna leave it up to you which one you think. I'm honestly excited for both. I feel like this is gonna be wintertime, perfect for cozying up with a little cozy, cute mystery book, and then also it's the perfect time to sink my teeth, as I said, into a big fantasy book. So the choice is yours. I don't mind. I am eventually going to read both of these across winter. It's just which one would you like to see me read first? There we are, straight off the bat, you are in control. What would you like me to read? Please put your comments below. So now the power is in your hands. Let's choose another prompt and get to the next roll. Go this one here. What are you? Oh, I've got two. Well, we'll go with the one that's in front because that's the one that you saw. We have foiling on the cover. One of my lights are dying. They didn't last the longest, but we're trying to get them through at least 2 more videos. We'll see. We'll see how long it lasts. Roll number 2. Green. Snow on the cover. First thought straight away for snow on the cover is First Frost, because that is beautiful. There is snow on that. We've got some little snowflakes at the top there. So 100% that was my first thought. However, I think I've got a couple more. So I want to check some of the books I need to read for the month. Down here, we've got The Raven and the Reindeer, which is a book I have to read for the month. Ooh, surprisingly, doesn't have snow on it. Okay. Never mind, but we are going to be reading that one anyway this month. Another book I'm going to be reading this month that would be good to get on the TBR is The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding by Agatha Christie, and as you can see that does have snow on the cover. That would be perfect. Might just do a quick little check at some of the others because I know this one I'm going to be reading, but I don't think that's got snow on the cover. No, it doesn't. Okay, last one to check is The Prisoner's Throne, which, okay, we've got ice. It's not technically snow, is it? Plus, I think I'd rather read First Frost instead of this one, but that could also work. Okay, let me have a think. The second prompt is snow on the cover, and I have decided to be smart and go with The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding by Agatha Christie. This is a collection of short stories. We have some from Hercule Poirot and also Miss Marple, and they're 6 different short stories, and I think they're all centered around Christmas time. This is something I'm going to be reading for the themed weekly reading vlog that I'm doing in December, which is the Christmas murder mysteries, which I really enjoyed. I really want this one to come out around Christmas, so normally my vlogs come out on a Friday, so that's either going to be, I think, is it the 27th, that's a Friday, or it will be the week before on the 20th. I think I'll let Discord vote to see which date they would rather the Christmas themed vlog comes out on, but I'm really excited for it. I really enjoy doing this. This is something I started last year, and it's going to become a yearly tradition of mine to read some Christmas centered murder mysteries, because you do get loads coming out each year as well, so I think it's just going to be really fun to do, and I really want to make sure that I work my way through all the Agatha Christie ones, and once I'm done with that I can then move on to others. So I read one Agatha Christie, and then there is one other one that I want to be reading. We'll see if it gets onto the TBR. It was a really hard decision between this this and First Frost, because First Frost is a book I really want to read because I loved garden spells this year, but trying to be a bit smart with my TBR, making sure I'm getting the books that I need to read on. And I do think this does work for Christmas. Like, we got the tree, we've got all the snow. Like, I just think this is going to be perfect. A nice cozy murder mystery. I plan on reading one short story from here a day across that weekly reading vlog. I think it's going to be really fun to do. We have got The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding, The Mystery of the Spanish Chest, The Underdog, 4 and 20 Blackbirds, The Dream, and Greenshaw's Folly. So hopefully this is going to be a good fun collection to read. I'm really intrigued to see whether all of them take place around Christmas time or whether it's just in winter time. Like, I'm really intrigued by that. So yeah, looking forward to reading this one. With number 2 out the way, we've got to choose another prompt and then go on to roll number 3. Let's go towards the back. Keeping in theme, we have Winter Murder. I mean, I do love a good murder mystery in winter time. I mean, I love a good murder mystery any time of the year. Let's face it. That's kind of just my MO now, is a good cozy book and cozy murder mystery. Oh, love it. But okay, let's go. Roll number 3. Okay, the third roll. Blue. That is a red or green cover. So the third prompt is a red or green cover, which works perfectly with the other book I need to read for my Christmas murder mystery reading week, which is The Christmas Murder Game by Alexandra Benedict. So this is going to be the other book that I'm reading for that themed weekly reading vlog. This is a book I picked up months ago, thrifted. If I hadn't already bought this one, I think I would be instead reading Benjamin Stevenson's new book, which is also a Christmas themed murder mystery. I don't know if it's murder mystery or if it's just a Christmas mystery, but seeing as I already have this one and I did pick it up months ago with the intention to be reading it in December for this themed weekly reading vlog, I'm gonna stick to this one. This is a book I have heard some mixed things. I've had work colleagues say that they really enjoyed this one, that actually their whole family sat down and read this last year on the run up to Christmas and they were comparing notes and trying to solve it as a family. That sounds so much fun. I love that idea. But then Leandra said that she wasn't a massive fan of this one. I think it was Leandra anyway. But this is a book that is on the run up to Christmas. We have the 12 days before Christmas and we're following Lily, and she has been invited to her grand family home. I think it's by her aunt, and she's really reluctant to go because 21 Christmases ago her mother was murdered and they don't know who did it, but her aunt says, join in this game and we're going to find your mum's killer, except this game turns really deadly. So we have 12 clues, 12 keys, 12 days of Christmas, but who will survive until 12th night? So I'm looking forward to it. I think it should just be a fun mystery to try and solve alongside The Adventures of the Christmas Pudding. You know exactly what I'm going to be reading for the themed weekly reading vlog in December. I'm really looking forward to it. I just think there's something so fun about a themed murder mystery book, and reading them in December for the festive period, like I can't wait. I think it's going to be fantastic. I think I'm just going to have a really fun time with these. I don't go in with really high hopes for these. I'm just going in, am I going to have a fun time? That is all I'm wanting for this, and hopefully this will provide. So that is perfect. So literally the last 2 prompts have been amazing to get in 2 of the books I need to read for the month on my TBR. That never happens, but I'm really happy with that. Okay, so is roll number 4 where it's all going to start falling apart? I don't know, in all honesty. The track record for this TBR game is that it's chaos and we just like to have a bit of fun with it all. But so far, I'm really happy with the prompts. We've got 2 murder mysteries and then obviously a book for you to choose between, which is, do you add to the murder mystery theme or are we going to go for a reread of a favourite book? Regardless of what you choose, we're off to a really good TBR. I'm so excited. I've been excited about December's reading for a couple of months now, and I think that's also why it's getting me into the festive spirit a lot earlier than I normally would. I'm a bit of a Grinch when it comes to Christmas, but I don't know, this year I'm excited. I'm like waffling on about nonsense. Let's go for this. Oh, hang on a minute, is that 2? Have I got 2? Yes. Okay, well, we'll go for the one that's in front. A festive word in the title. Now, I had that planned for the Christmas 2 books that we've already got picked. So if this one comes up, I actually don't know what the hell I would be choosing. I guess we're gonna find out. Hopefully it doesn't come up because then I don't have to deal with that and then I don't get the additional roll, but I guess the dice gods will decide. Roll number 4. Orange. Okay, we've got received as a gift. I think I'm gonna go with gifts I received last year because they've been sitting on my shelves the longest. So let's go have a rummage. Okay, so I looked in my reading journal from last year and I have found about 5 books that have been gifted to me last year that I haven't read yet. So first off the bat, we have The Magician's Daughter. This one was gifted to me by my mum for my birthday last year and I still haven't read it. Also on this shelf, we have a book that was given to me for Christmas last year as a Secret Santa gift, and that is The Witness for the Dead. I really want to read this one, but in January, the Discord is actually reading The Goblin Emperor for January. It's Discord monthly book pick, and this is going to be a reread, so I'm thinking to reread that first and then continue this, because we've got this novella and there's another novella and it's linked to the same series. I think I won't choose that one, but I may choose this one. However, there are a couple more books. So we do have this horror book, Our Share of Night by Marina Enriquez, and this one I think was gifted to me by, I want to say Elizabeth? Yes, it was. Now, I do really want to read this one. However, it's a horror book. I feel like this would be perfect for October time. I need to just stop being scared of the size of this book and read it, because I actually really want to read from this author anyway. I'm not feeling this sort of horror book for December, so I think I'll just maybe put that on my 25 to read in 2025, because I do really need to read this one. So maybe do that. Yeah, not for December, not for December. Then we've got a couple more which are over here. Ty Apollo Blue, and this one was gifted to me by Suzanne, so thank you, Suzanne. Only thing is, this one takes place in summer. This is a hot summer book, which I think, again, not quite the right vibes for December, but we do have The Latinist, which was also gifted to me by Elizabeth, I think. Let me double check again. Yes, and this one is a dark academia, Greek mythology inspired book. Maybe it'll be between this and The Magician's Daughter. Hang on a minute. Okay, roll number 4 is a book I received as a gift, which obviously for the time of December, gift given, everything, that was a perfect prompt. So again, thank you Discord for all your help with these prompts. But as we saw, I did go through my journal, reading journal from last year. I always keep track of books that have been gifted to me, and I decided to go for one of those ones. I've been gifted loads of books this year, and to everyone that gifts me books, you truly do not have to. I really, really appreciate it. It means so much. But I decided to go for some of the ones that I have been meaning to read for a while that were gifted to me. A cozy fantasy that my mum gave me, which is The Magician's Daughter. This is also a book that Danny has recommended I read because she knows I'm going to like it. She also knows it's been on my TBR for a while. She did a recent video where she was recommending me 4 different books and this was on there. And then of course we have The Latinist by Mark Prinz, and this is a Daphne and Apollo retelling, more modern day at University of Oxford. So we've got the dark academia vibes, and I feel like, again, that could be really good for maybe just a change of tone, because I've got quite a bit of cozy going on already with 2 cozy murder mysteries, a potential 3rd cozy mystery, or just a favorite book, which feels like when I'm rereading a favorite book, that's a cozy thing for me to do. So I feel like this could break it up nicely. But what I'm gonna do is not decide. Instead, I'm gonna put a vote on Discord, and I will put the answer here as to what one won. I don't know which one they're gonna choose, but it's going to be one of these books that gets onto the December TBR, and we'll just see what they feel like I should be going for. And I think I'm not going to tell them the titles, do emojis. Anyway, I'll take a screenshot of what ends up being chosen, and then we'll know which one it is to be added to the December TBR. That sounds a lot more fun for me, because then I don't have to decide between 2 books that I do really want to read. But yeah, thank you to everyone that has taken the time to gift me a book. I really, really appreciate it. But okay, now we're moving on to roll number 5. Are we really going to get away with no additional rolls? I mean, I guess we're gonna find out, but that would be amazing. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna have that happen. Okay, so Night Sky on the cover, and let's go for that last roll. Roll number 5. Is this going to be the last roll of December? No, it's not. Okay, so we have orange, which is Night Sky on the cover. So now we need to do an additional roll. Let's go here. Okay, so the additional roll is yellow. So we have another additional roll. This is foiling on the cover. Lastly, shuffle these up. Oh, it's falling everywhere. And now we have the last roll for December. orange again, which is the winter TBR. We've now got 3 prompts with 3 books to get. Well, I should have expected that the last roll would go a bit crazy there, so we ended up with 3 prompts. Now the first one, a night sky on the cover, and once again I chose a prompt. I didn't check my shelves to make sure that any of my books would fit this, and to be honest, not many of them do that I want to read. So I do have a couple like horror books that I feel like maybe I could have checked for night sky on the cover, except like I said, I'm not in the mood for horror, so I have allowed myself to double up, and I'm doubling up with The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding because there is a night sky within this Christmas tree. Did I plan to double up this month? No, because I feel like I don't have loads and loads I need to read, but also I was really struggling to find a book with a night sky on the cover that would fit this and like fit for what I'm wanting to read in December. So I decided, you know what, be nice to yourself, double up. And so that's what I've done. So this one book is fitting for snow on the cover as well as a night sky. Then we had foiling on the cover, and this was another hard one. I was like checking all of my books, and I have quite a few books with different foiling on, but I couldn't decide what I felt like reading. I had a few fantasy books that I'd be like, oh, they'll be good to read, but then just in case you choose Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, I'm like, do I want books that have got similar vibes to that? Not really, because then it's going to be too much inside one month to read. Like, I like a nice mix. So instead, I've gone with A Power Unbound by Freya Mars. This is book 3 in the series, and there's like tiny little bits of foiling on the tree. So like some of the leaves are foiled. So it's only lightly foiled, but I don't know, I was kind of like drawn to this. This one is a series that has historical fantasy elements with romance, with mystery. It's a really nice combination of a lot of different things, and I really enjoyed the first book, which is A Marvelous Light. I have read Restless Truth. I'm now up to the 3rd book, which I recently picked up. So I would really like to read this one. I've been looking forward to reading it for ages. It's just I've been waiting for it to come out in paperback. For this series, in the first book we start off with 2 gentlemen, one of them who knows nothing about magic, but his family estate's not doing so well. His parents have died and they've left the estate in kind of disarray, and he's having to take up the mantle and find a job. He then gets a job with the government, but their magical part, and he's like, I didn't even know magic existed. And so he is paired with somebody who knows all about magic and now has to show him the ropes, who was very unhappy about this, but they end up stumbling across this murder mystery that's going on that they have to try and solve. Each book has their own mystery, but also an overarching plotline. The second book follows our main character, who knew nothing about magic, his sister, and she is helping as part of this overarching plotline, but she gets caught up in a murder mystery that's happening on this boat, and it all gets caught up there. And now this third one, we're following a character, Lord Hawthorne. We've met in both books as this kind of like grumpy person, but always ends up reluctantly helping our characters out. I'm really intrigued, really been looking forward to his story, and I think it would be lovely maybe like early December time to start off with this one, but we'll see, because we do still have Danny's bucket list-a-thon going on, so we'll see what actually gets chosen for me to read in the month. But I think this is going to be such a fun read, so I'm really excited to have this one as an option. And then lastly, we had a winter TBR pick, which means I have to go through the winter TBR that I have for the season and choose a book off there. And of course I went with First Frost by Sarah Addison Allen. As I mentioned right at the start of this video, this is a book I've been really wanting to read. I've been really excited about it, and this is going to be such a beautiful magical book, and I think I'm going to read this one towards the end of the month, just because this goes into New Year's, I believe. End of December time would be perfect to read this book. I'm so excited for it. This is the sequel to Garden Spells, which I absolutely adored, where we're following 2 sisters, the Waverley sisters, except they're kind of estranged until a series of events pulls the sisters back together, and you also see more into this little town where they are, and yeah, it's wonderful. It's such a good time. I really enjoyed the story. I enjoyed it so much more than what I expected to. You're going to be hearing about it again because it's going to be on my top books of the year. So really excited to be reading First Frost and continuing on with that series. And I'm hoping it's just as magical and beautiful as the first book, but we'll see. I'm intrigued for it. So yeah, okay. That was a bit of a chaotic last roll, but I feel happy with the books I've chosen for it, and I think doubling up was smart to do. On top of those books, I am going to be reading The Raven and the Reindeer by T. Kingfisher. This is the Discord book club pick for December, so if you want to join in, then Discord is linked below for you. But I'm looking forward to this one. This is a retelling of The Snow Queen, which is by Hans Christian Andersen, so I plan on reading that short story and then reading this. But I think this is a really good pick for December. It's perfect time to be reading it. A short story about Snow Queen being read in December. I mean, you can't get much more perfect than that. So really looking forward to this one, but I don't know what it's about. I've never read The Snow Queen, so I've got no idea what it's about. And then I do have 2 books I'm going to be reading for my cozy new releases vlog, and that will be coming out in January. One of them I'm reading as an ebook, which is Rules for Royalty. Hang on a minute, let me check. I've got it written down. It is a romance book that's kind of a spin on the Princess Diaries, but make it gay, and I'm really excited for it. Yeah, Rules of Royalty, that's coming out 10th December. I will be reading it as an ebook. And then the physical copy of a book I really want to get, because I think I'm going to love it, is The Peculiar Garden of Harriet Hunt. And this one is for fans of Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairy. I genuinely can't wait for this book. I'm so excited about it. Again, don't know too much about it. I try not to read much into synopsis. I mean, you probably won't be surprised, but the amount of times that I have been spoiled for something that's coming in a book because I read the synopsis is so frustrating. And technically, no, it's not a spoiler, but I feel like it should have been. If you go in knowing about it, you know what to expect. And I really love going into books knowing nothing, not knowing what to expect and just going along for the ride. I find that I have a much better reading experience that way. So I try not to read too much of a synopsis if I can help it. But okay, those are all the books we're reading in December. Let's do a run through. So as I said, we've got the 2 books for the cozy reading vlog, and then we have The Raven and the Reindeer for the Discord book club, which I think is going to be great. Look how small this is. And it's going to be such an easy one that I might just sit down one day and just with a cup of tea and just finish this. Maybe on Christmas Day, actually. That would be really nice. Yeah, I think Christmas morning, I'm going to wake up and read this book, and I think that will be wonderful. I could change my mind depending on Danny's bucket list-a-thon, because the order that I'm reading these books in is all subject to Danny's game. So for all I know, this could fit really well for a different prompt in her game. So we'll see, but that would be ideal. For winter TBR, we have First Frost, which is a magical realism book that I genuinely cannot wait to get back to these characters. I have adored the first book so freaking much. For foiling on the cover, I have gone for a very lightly foiled book, which is A Power Unbound. As I say, this is a genre blend of a lot of different genres, and I think it is such a fun book, and I feel like the whole series is a bit underrated, and I really want more people to read it. Freya Marster's just come out with a new book as well, which is Swords Crossed or Star Crossed or something like that. I really want to get hold of that book, but I've been making myself wait to read this first before I'm allowed to read that other book or allowed to buy it. Really excited. Anyway, going off track here. We then have a book that is fulfilling 2 prompts, which is Snow on the cover and The Night Sky on the cover, and that is The Adventures of the Christmas Pudding, a short story collection with Hercule Poirot and Miss Marple as our detectives, solving different, hopefully, Christmas-centered murders. It's going to be really fun for my themed weekly reading vlog. Alongside that reading vlog, I'm also going to be reading The Christmas Murder Game, which I think is just going to be a fun time. If I go in with no expectations, I think I'm going to enjoy it and just find it an entertaining, fun read, which is all I want from a cozy murder mystery. We then have the book that's been gifted to me, which I'm going to be getting Discord to decide, which again, I'll put up the winner on screen, but it's either going to be The Latinist, which is a dark academia Greek mythology retelling, or it will be a cozy fantasy, The Magician's Daughter. And again, thank you so much to everyone that's gifted me books over the last couple years. You never have to, but I really, really appreciate it, so thank you. And then for the last prompt is a blue book, and this is where you get to choose what I'm reading. We can either go for another cute, cozy murder mystery, which is The Tale of Hilltop Farm, or we can do a reread of my favourite book ever, which is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which is a historical fantasy. So the choice is in your hands for these 2 books. Do let me know what one you think I should be reading in December. Either way, I'm going to get to both of these books across winter, so it's literally whatever one you think I should read first. But there we are, that is the stack of books for December. I am honestly really happy with this selection. I feel like there's enough mixture in there to keep me happy, and I feel like the vibes are perfect for December, so you'll have to let me know. Have you read any of these? Do you have any specific books you save for this time of year? Or do you have any traditions that you like to do in December? Let me know. But thank you so much for voting and helping me choose my TBR. With all of that done, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far but you just don't know what to comment, then leave like a little Christmas emoji. Let's just fill it up with all things Christmassy. It could be a present, it could be the Christmas tree, it could be whatever you want. Something that feels festive for this time of year. And thank you so much for watching. I know I repeat it many times at the end of the video. Genuinely, I really appreciate all of you that take the time to watch these videos. It genuinely means a lot. I wouldn't be doing this without you, so thank you. And all the opportunities that have come this way this year because of your support has been amazing. So I really appreciate it. If you have enjoyed this video, please do give it that thumbs up, subscribing and commenting. Those 3 things really help this channel out, so thank you. My social media links, everyone I've mentioned, will be linked below for you, and I will of course catch you in the very next video.